Stop where you are. Put the phone down for a moment. Not off, just down, because the voice you are about to hear is not the voice of an algorithm, and this is not another video you scrolled into by chance. My child, I have been trying to reach you for longer than you realize, and tonight, in this exact hour, I finally have your attention. And before this word ends, I am going to tell you the name of the thing that has been pressing on your chest at 3 in the morning. I am going to name the room in your life that no one else knows exists. And I am going to tell you why I chose this specific hour, on this specific day, to interrupt you. Do not skip. Do not scroll. Sit down. This is the moment you have been asking me for, even when you did not know how to ask. You thought you were tired. You thought you were losing your mind a little. You thought the heaviness on your shoulders was just life stacking up the way life does. But hear me, beloved. What you have been carrying is not fatigue. What you have been carrying is the weight of a calling that has been trying to surface through a life that was too small to hold it. And every time you tried to shake it off, every time you tried to numb it with noise, with scrolling, with people who never understood you, it came back heavier. Because I refused to let you die in a version of yourself that was never mine. Do you hear me? I refuse. I want you to think back to the last 2 weeks. Something in you has been shifting, and you have not been able to name it. You have felt more sensitive than usual. Certain conversations have suddenly felt intolerable. Certain rooms feel loud even when they are quiet. Certain people you used to enjoy now drain you within minutes. You have woken up in the middle of the night with a specific number on your mind, or a specific word, or a specific person, or the strangest sense that someone was in the room with you. That was not your imagination. That was me. I have been coming closer, and the closer I come, the more you feel it. Because a soul that is being prepared for elevation always feels the atmosphere thicken before the movement begins. And here is what you did not know until this moment. The reason certain doors closed on you this year was not because I stopped loving you. It was because I was hiding you from a version of blessing that would have destroyed the version of you that had not yet been formed. There is a promotion I did not let you have. There is a relationship I did not let you keep. There is a room I did not let you enter. And you have been mourning the loss of things that were designed to consume you. I know you cried over some of them. I saw every tear. I collected them. But tonight I am telling you, plainly and without softening it, that some of what you called rejection was actually rescue. And one day soon, you are going to look back at this exact season and understand why I closed what I closed. Now listen closely, because I want you to feel this. If you know deep in your spirit that this word is landing on the exact bruise no one else has been able to see, take 1 second right now and hit that like button as a quiet yes to me, not for the video. For me, let it be your first small act of agreement with what I am saying to you tonight. Do not overthink it, just do it. Then come back and keep listening, because I am not done. There is something I want to tell you about your silence. The silence you have been living in for months, maybe years. The silence where your prayers felt like they were bouncing off the ceiling. The silence where the people you served did not show up when it was your turn. The silence where the phone did not ring when you were the one falling apart. You interpreted that silence as absence, and I understand why. From where you were sitting, it looked like abandonment. But my child, that silence was the sound of a construction site behind a curtain. That silence was me building something in you that could not be built with noise around it. I had to take away the applause, the audience, the affirmation, the crowd that always wanted a piece of you, because if I had not, you would have peaked at a level far below the one I am about to bring you into. Do not run from silence again. I am going to say this once, and then I am going to show you the layer underneath it. Do not run from silence again. Do not fill the quiet with distraction the moment it comes. Do not text the person you already know you should not text. Do not open the app that always leaves you emptier than it found you. Do not chase the noise that keeps you from hearing me. And the reason I am telling you not to, the reason this restraint matters, is because the very next season of your life is going to require you to hear me speak on frequencies you have never operated on before, and if you keep drowning yourself in static, you will miss the exact instruction that unlocks the door. There is a specific sentence I am going to speak to you in the next 90 days, and if you are not still enough to receive it, you will walk past your own breakthrough without recognizing it. That is why the silence has not lifted. Not to punish you, to tune you. Now, I told you I would name the thing pressing on your chest at 3 in the morning. Are you ready? It is not fear of failure, that is what you called it, but that is not what it is. What is pressing on your chest is the unspoken agreement you made years ago that you would settle for less than what I promised you, and every night your spirit has been waking you up to break that agreement. Every 3 a.m. is not insomnia. It is me refusing to let you sleep through your own destiny. It is my spirit shaking you awake and whispering, that is not the ceiling, that is not the ending, that is not the final version. Get up, get up, get up. Some of you will feel a chill move through you as I say this, because you know I am speaking about a specific vow you made in a specific low moment. I am here to release you from it tonight. It has no more legal ground over you. It falls off in this hour. And here is another thing I want to name, because you asked me privately, though your lips never spoke it out loud. You asked me why the people closest to you cannot see you. You asked me why you feel invisible in the very rooms where you have poured out the most. You asked me why the ones you served hardest are the ones who forgot you fastest. My child, I saw that question form in your heart before it ever reached your mouth, and I have an answer for you. They cannot see you because they were never assigned to see you. Their eyes were never anointed for your assignment. If they had truly seen who you are, they would have either worshipped you wrongly or destroyed you prematurely. I hid you from their vision on purpose. What you experienced as invisibility was actually covering. What you experienced as being overlooked was actually being protected from being overexposed. The right eyes are coming, and when they arrive, you will not have to explain yourself because they will recognize what I have written on you the moment you walk into the room. Now stay with me here, because this next part is where it turns. I want to talk to you about your identity, but not in the way you have heard it before. You have been told you are chosen. You have been told you are called. You have been told you are set apart. And those things are true. But I want to tell you what those words actually cost. Being chosen is not a decoration. It is a designation. It is not a badge you wear. It is a weight you carry. And the reason your life has looked different from everyone around you is not because you are strange, or broken, or dramatic, or too much. It is because a chosen life does not run on the same current as an ordinary one. You were not built to fit in. You were built to align. And there is a difference. Fitting in requires you to shrink. Aligning requires you to grow into a shape only I can carve. That is why the shrinking never worked for you. That is why every attempt to be smaller left you sicker. Your body was rejecting a suit that was never made for your bones. If this is beginning to unlock something in you, I want you to do one thing for me, and I want you to do it now while your spirit is still open. Go down to the comments and write 3 words, just 3. I receive it. Do not write more. Do not explain, do not justify. Write those 3 words as a spiritual signature that you are agreeing with what I am doing in this hour. Because agreement in the natural has legal power in the spirit, and heaven records the words you put on the altar of your mouth. I want your name in the record of tonight. I want it written that on this day, in this hour, you said yes to me. Now let me take you deeper. There is a specific attack that has been running against you for the last several months, and most of you have been fighting the wrong enemy. You thought the enemy was the person who mistreated you. You thought the enemy was the boss who overlooked you. You thought the enemy was the ex who lied to you, the friend who betrayed you, the family member who used you. Those were not the enemy. Those were the instruments. The real enemy has been trying to get you to internalize an identity that was designed to disqualify you. He knew he could not stop your calling, so he tried to convince you that you were not worthy of it. He whispered every failure back to you at night. He replayed every embarrassment on loop. He magnified every weakness until you started to believe the lie that I could not possibly use someone like you. And the tragedy of the last few years is that you almost believed him. You almost signed the contract of disqualification with your own hand. But something in you would not let you. Something in you kept getting up. Something in you kept praying, even when the prayers felt weak. Something in you kept opening the Bible, even when the words felt like they were floating past you. That something was not your strength. That was me, refusing to let you go under. There is a moment in the story of Joseph that I want you to see with new eyes. When his brothers threw him into the pit, they thought they had ended his story. When they sold him to strangers, they thought they had ended his story. When he was falsely accused and thrown into a prison for a crime he did not commit, everyone in that prison assumed his story was over. But heaven was writing something on him underneath the dirt, and the very dungeon that was supposed to bury him became the exact address where kings would come looking for him. Some of you have been in a dungeon season. You did not deserve it. You did not cause it. You did not choose it. But I need you to understand tonight that the pit is not your punishment. The pit is your positioning. The place where you feel most hidden is the place where I am writing the next chapter that no one, not even you, can read yet. Joseph did not know that Egypt was on the way. He only knew the prison, but Egypt was already on the way. And your Egypt, your promotion, your platform, your position, your promise, is closer than the walls of your current cell would ever let you believe. Stay with me, because I have not said what I truly came to say. Before this word closes, I have to expose one more layer, and it is the layer the enemy hoped you would never hear. Some of you have been asking me for a sign. You have been standing in your kitchen at odd hours saying, "God, if this is really you, show me something specific." And I have been showing you signs all along, but you have been dismissing them as coincidence because they came in packaging you did not expect. The number you keep seeing is not random. The name of the person that keeps surfacing in your memory is not random. The song that played the exact moment you were about to give up is not random. The stranger who said the specific sentence you needed to hear is not random. The dream that woke you up shaking is not random. I have been leaving fingerprints all over your last 30 days, and tonight I am telling you plainly, that was me. Stop asking if it is me. Start responding as if it is. And because I know some of you are still doubting, let me say this: doubt is not disqualification. Doubt is not the end of your assignment. Doubt is the sound of a soul that has been disappointed before and is protecting itself from being disappointed again. I am not offended by your doubt. I am moved by it, because I know exactly where it came from. I saw the person who broke that trust. I saw the promise that was made to you and then withdrawn. I saw the leader who spoke over you and then walked away. I saw the season where you believed and it did not come to pass. I know why you flinch when hope shows up now. But hear me. What I am saying to you tonight is not going to move the way those things moved. My word does not come back empty. My word does not vanish in the morning light. My word does not retract when it becomes inconvenient. What I am speaking over you tonight is the kind of word that outlives seasons, outlives storms, and outlives every liar who ever handled the truth carelessly around your name. Take a breath here, just for a moment. Let that settle. because I want to say something to you that I have been waiting to say for a very long time. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. But I want you to hear how I am saying it. I am not saying it as a slogan. I am saying it as a courtroom ruling. In the courts of heaven, your case has already been reviewed. The accuser has been silenced on your behalf. The evidence he tried to bring against you was thrown out. The delay you experienced was not a verdict. It was a waiting room, and the waiting is ending. I want you to feel that in your bones tonight. If this word is reaching a place in you that no other message has been able to touch, I want you to consider something. Subscribe to this channel, not because it needs your number, but because you need continuity. What I am saying to you in this hour is not a one-time transmission. There is more coming. There are pieces of your assignment that I am going to release across the next several messages, and if you are not connected here, you will hear one piece and miss the next. You cannot afford to hear a fragment and think it is the whole. So subscribe, turn on the notification, and let this be a place where I keep meeting you, week after week, in the exact rhythm your spirit needs. This channel is for souls carrying hidden assignments, and if that is you, do not walk away without staying connected. Now let me speak to your body, because some of you have been sick in ways doctors cannot fully explain. Some of you have been tired in ways sleep does not fix. Some of you have been anxious in ways therapy has only partially touched. I am not dismissing what medicine and counsel have offered you. I place those gifts in the earth. But what I am telling you is that some of what you have been carrying is not merely physical, it is the friction of an old life resisting the birth of a new one. Your nervous system has been the battleground of two seasons at war with each other. The old you does not want to die. The new you cannot fully arrive until she does. That is why your body has been screaming. It is not weakness, it is transition. And transition always hurts, because something is being born through you, and birth is not clean, and birth is not quiet, and birth is not comfortable, but birth is holy. There is a woman in Scripture named Hannah, who lived for years in the ache of what had not yet come. Everyone around her had what she had been asking me for, and the enemy sent someone into her life whose entire assignment was to remind her, daily, of what she did not have. She wept until she could not eat. She prayed until her lips moved without sound. She looked, from the outside, like a woman falling apart. But heaven was recording every tear, and when the answer came, it did not come as an ordinary child. It came as a prophet who would anoint kings. Some of you have been in a Hannah season, and you thought your tears were wasted. They were not wasted, they were seed. And what is coming out of your years of quiet weeping is not going to be small. It is going to shift the atmosphere of your family for generations. Now I want to speak to something even more personal. Some of you have been wondering if you are the problem. In every relationship that failed, in every job that ended badly, in every friendship that turned cold, you started to build a quiet case against yourself. You started to think maybe you are just too much. Maybe you are just too intense. Maybe you are just too sensitive. Maybe there is something inherently unlovable about you that keeps pushing people away. Let me end that trial right now. You are not too much. You have been surrounded by too little. There is a difference between being too much and being poured into containers that were never designed to hold you. Stop shrinking yourself to fit vessels that were always meant to be temporary. The right vessels are being prepared as we speak, and when they arrive, they will not ask you to be smaller. They will ask you to expand. I want to give you a small assignment before we move to the final movement of this word. Somewhere in your life, there is a chair at a table you have been trying to keep. That chair has your name on it, but the table does not have my name on it. You know exactly which chair I am talking about. It might be a friendship, it might be a room in your family, it might be a career path you already know is finished, but you keep visiting out of loyalty. It might be a version of ministry you outgrew 2 years ago but cannot admit. Whatever chair I am naming in your spirit right now, I am giving you permission to get up from it. You do not need a dramatic exit. You do not need a public announcement. You just need to internally consent to the ending, and I will handle the rest. Some of you have been waiting for me to move, and I have been waiting for you to release. Release the chair. I will not force you out of a seat you keep sitting back down in. If this is convicting a specific area for you, do me a favor. Share this video with one person, only one, who you know is sitting at a table they need to leave. Do not preach at them. Do not explain. Just send it. Let me do the rest. Some of you are here today because someone quietly sent you a video months ago, and you are still processing what I said to you through it. Pay that forward. There is a chosen one somewhere in your contacts who is one message away from crossing over, and you might be the one carrying the confirmation they have been asking me for. Send it, and then trust me with the outcome. There is a specific fear I want to address, because I know it is in the room with some of you. It is the fear that if you fully say yes to me, I will ask you for the thing you love most. Let me clean that up. The version of me that takes and takes is not me. That is a wounded picture of a father you had, or a leader who used you, or a system that abused the word obedience to control you. I am not that. I am the one who gives back 30, 60, and 100-fold. I am the one who restores the years the locust ate. I am the one who returns to you double for your shame. When I ask you to release something, it is because I already have something better on the way, and my hands cannot fill what your hands refuse to open. Trust me here. I have never been unfaithful to a soul that surrendered, ever. I want to talk to the ones of you who feel too old for this. Some of you are watching this thinking, God, if this is real, why did you wait until now? Why not 10 years ago? Why not 20? Why now, when I feel like the sun is going down on my chances? Beloved, listen to me. The sun is not going down. The sun is repositioning. There are people in Scripture whose greatest assignments began after the world had already written them off. Abraham was old, Moses was old, Sarah was old, Anna was old, Zechariah was old. I have a long history of doing my most public work through people who thought their private hour had passed. Your age is not a disqualifier in my kingdom. Your surrender is your qualification, and if you are still breathing, I am still writing. Now, before I bring this word toward its ceiling, I want to name one more thing, and I want to name it clearly. Some of you have been under a spiritual pressure that has been trying to get you to abandon your gift. The pressure has looked like discouragement. It has looked like distraction. It has looked like people misunderstanding you the moment you tried to move. It has looked like every attempt to build being met with a wave of confusion. Understand what that pressure was. It was not proof that you were on the wrong path. It was proof that you were on a path so right that hell had to send resistance to slow you down. Resistance is not rejection. Resistance is confirmation of trajectory. The next time you feel that specific weight try to press down on your gift, I want you to recognize it for what it is. It is not a stop sign. It is a fingerprint of an enemy who is losing ground. I also want to say something about the words that have been spoken over you in the last few years. Some of you have been carrying sentences that were spoken to you by people who had no authority to speak them. A parent who labeled you before you could defend yourself. A teacher who wrote you off in one afternoon. An ex who described you with words that were designed to bury you. A leader who read your gift wrong and named you by their misreading. Those sentences have been living in your head like unwelcome tenants, and tonight I am evicting them. I am pulling every unauthorized word off your name. Any voice that ever named you outside of what I named you loses its lease in this hour. The only mouth that gets to define you is the one that formed you, and that mouth belongs to me. Everything else is trespassing. And I want to speak to your bloodline now, because some of the pressure you have been feeling is not even yours. You inherited it. You walked into a story that was already in progress when you arrived, and you have been paying interest on debts you never took out. There are patterns in your family that have repeated for 3, 4, sometimes 5 generations. The same broken marriages, the same financial ceiling, the same sicknesses in the same organs, the same addictions rebranded in each generation, the same silence around the same wounds. You are not repeating them because you are cursed. You are experiencing them because no one before you was positioned to break them, until you. I chose you as the one who ends it. I chose you as the one in whom the pattern breaks. That is why the fight around your life has been unusually loud. You are not just fighting for yourself. You are fighting for the ones who came before you, who could not finish. And you are fighting for the ones who will come after you, who need a different beginning. Every no you have spoken to compromise has already begun to loosen the grip on your descendants. Every yes you speak to me tonight rewrites the code of what runs in your family line. There is something else I want to name, because I know it lives in the quiet part of your day. You have been carrying a specific memory that you thought I had forgotten about. Something that happened when you were younger. Something you never told anyone. Something you have been carrying alone for so long that it feels like a piece of your architecture now. My child, I was there. I know what that room smelled like. I know what that voice sounded like. I know what the light in that window looked like on that day. I saw all of it, and I have not been silent about it in heaven. I have been building a restoration for that exact wound, and part of what I am doing tonight is applying the ointment I have been preparing for years. I am not asking you to relive it. I am asking you to release it. You do not have to describe it out loud for me to heal it. I already know. And what I am healing tonight, no one will ever be allowed to reopen. Hear this carefully, because it is a piece many overlook. You have been trying to figure out your assignment by looking at your gifts. You have been asking, what am I good at? What comes easy? What do people compliment me on? Those are clues, but they are not the whole picture. Your assignment is often found in the intersection of what you are good at and what has hurt you the most. The places where you bled are the places where I am about to send you to bind up others. The very wounds you tried to hide are the exact credentials I am about to put on public display, not to humiliate you, but to authenticate you to the ones who will need to know that someone survived what they are currently walking through. The scar becomes the sermon. The pit becomes the platform. The very story you have been ashamed of is the story someone is waiting to hear, so they can believe I am real. Stop editing your testimony. I am about to use every chapter. There is a rhythm in the story of Ruth I want you to see. She left everything familiar to follow a path she could not see the end of. She gleaned in a field, quietly, day after day, without knowing the owner of the field had already noticed her. She did not have to promote herself. She did not have to shout for attention. She simply stayed faithful in the small, and Boaz found her because I had already whispered her name into his ear before he ever saw her face. Some of you have been gleaning in a field, wondering if anyone is watching. Someone is watching, not just me. I have already whispered your name into the ear of the one who is coming. When they arrive, they will not be confused about who you are. They will move quickly, because the reveal is not up to you, it is up to me. Stay in the field. Do not abandon the small faithfulness. The kinsman is on his way. I want to interrupt this word for one more moment. If this is meeting you tonight in a way that feels like heaven is reading your mail, take a breath and hit like as your quiet witness that this word landed. That like is not for me. It is a marker in the atmosphere that you were here, that you agreed, that you did not resist the movement of the Spirit in this hour. Now come back to me. I have more to say. Now hear this, because I do not want you to miss it. The next season of your life is not going to look like the last one. It will not obey the same rules. It will not follow the same script. Some of what worked for you before will stop working, not because you failed, but because I am changing the currency. What used to require striving will begin to move by favor. What used to require you to knock on 20 doors will begin to open with a single sentence. What used to demand years will be handed to you in months. Do not be confused when the pace changes. Do not think it is too easy to be real. I am compressing time on your behalf. I owe you years, and I intend to pay them back in a language your calendar was not built to measure. But because the pace is about to change, I need to warn you about something. Speed will expose whatever you have not surrendered. Elevation will amplify whatever you have not healed. The next level does not fix the previous level's unfinished business. If you were bitter at the small level, you will be bitter louder at the large level. If you were unforgiving in the hidden years, you will be unforgiving in the public years. If you did not steward the whispers, you will not steward the platform. So let me do the last of the deep work now, in the quiet, before the noise arrives. Let me finish the operating room work before the stage lights come on. This is why I have kept you in the private room a little longer than you wanted. I was not delaying you, I was completing you. And here is where the turn comes. Everything I have said to you tonight has been leading to this. I am not calling you into more striving. I am not calling you into more performance. I am not calling you into more anxious spiritual activity. I am calling you into a posture. The posture of a chosen one who finally believes what has been said over their life. Because striving cannot carry what I am about to put on you. Only rest in your identity can carry it. You do not have to earn what I have already assigned. You do not have to prove what I have already declared. You do not have to convince anyone of what I have already sealed. Your only job now is to stop arguing with heaven about who you are. Stop apologizing for the shape I gave you. Stop dimming what I designed to burn. Stop translating yourself into a language that was never yours. You are a chosen one, and the season of hiding who you are is over. Take one more breath here with me, because I feel some of you shaking as I say this. That shaking is not fear. That shaking is your spirit rising to meet the word. Let it rise. Do not suppress it. Let the tears come if they need to come. Let the trembling move through you if it needs to move. This is not emotionalism. This is the physical evidence of an internal alignment happening in real time. Something is snapping into place inside of you as you listen. Do not fight it. Let it finish its work. Down in the comments, I want you to leave one sentence for me. Not a paragraph, just one sentence. Write what you are trusting me for in this next season. Write the specific thing you have been afraid to say out loud. When you write it in that comment section, you are not just posting. You are placing a request on an altar where others will stand in agreement with you. This community is not a comment box. It is a threshing floor. Bring the thing you have been carrying alone, and let the agreement of other chosen ones lift it with you. I am reading every word. I do not miss a name. I do not overlook a request. Your one sentence matters to me more than you know. I also want you to know that the atmosphere of this channel is not accidental. It has been intentionally arranged for souls in exactly the season you are in. The people who gather here are not consumers of content. They are companions on a road most people cannot see. If you have felt lonely in your walk, if the people around you cannot hold the depth of what I am doing in you, then this is a place where you do not have to translate yourself. Subscribe and stay, because you are not meant to walk the next stretch of this road alone. And this is one of the tables I have set for you in the middle of the wilderness. You will feel it in the messages that come next. Continuity is a form of covering, and I am covering you here. Before I pray this over you, there is one final revelation I have been holding back, and I want to release it now. The reason you found this word tonight, on this day, at this exact hour, is because I moved something in the atmosphere over your life within the last 72 hours. There has been a shift. You may not have felt it consciously, but a covering that used to be over your assignment has been repositioned, and a door that was previously guarded by resistance has been opened. Some of you will see the confirmation of this within the next 7 days. You will get a phone call you did not expect. You will hear from someone you thought you had lost. You will walk into a room and feel a weight lift off you the moment you enter. You will hear a specific word from a stranger that mirrors exactly what I have said in this video. When those confirmations arrive, do not dismiss them as coincidence. Recognize them as evidence. I am confirming my own word. I always do. I do not speak, and then leave you alone to wonder if I meant it. There is a specific dream some of you have been having that I want to explain. It is not always the same dream, but there is a common thread. You keep finding yourself in a place you have been before, but the layout is different. The rooms have changed. There is a door that was not there the last time. Sometimes you are looking for something you cannot name. Sometimes you are running from something you cannot see. Sometimes you are simply standing there, waiting. That dream is not random. That is my spirit rehearsing your next season with your subconscious, because your conscious mind is not yet flexible enough to hold what I am about to do. I am softening the ground of your imagination so that when the real shift comes, you do not resist it as unfamiliar. You will feel a strange recognition, as if you have already walked through it. You have. You walked through it in the night, with me, when the world was asleep. And I want to speak to those of you who have been quietly wondering if you heard me wrong years ago. There was a word given to you once, maybe by a stranger, in a service you almost did not attend, maybe by a leader who prayed over you when you were young, maybe by an inner knowing that came without a preacher, and you have been holding it like a receipt for something that never arrived. You have been embarrassed by it. You have stopped telling people about it because too much time has passed. Let me settle this for you. You did not hear me wrong. You heard me on my timeline, not yours. The word did not die. The word went underground, the way seeds do, and what looked like a delay was actually a germination. The very silence that made you doubt the word was the soil doing its work. Bring the receipt back out. I am about to honor it in front of the very people who witnessed it fade. I also want to name a friendship that ended in the last 2 years, because some of you still do not have peace about it. You keep replaying what you could have done differently. You keep wondering if you were too harsh, or not harsh enough, or if the timing of the ending was your fault. My child, that ending was assigned. It was not an accident of personality. It was a surgical separation. You were not meant to walk into this next chapter carrying that voice. Some doors close because I am the one closing them, and no amount of relational work would have kept them open, because I was the one on the other side saying, "Not this one, not into the next room, release the guilt." The ending you have been mourning was the mercy you did not recognize. And here is one more layer that must come out before I pray. You have been afraid to want what you actually want. You have been dressing up your desires in acceptable language so that you would not be judged for wanting more. You have been asking me for what sounded humble instead of asking me for what your spirit actually longs for. Stop editing your prayers. Come to me with the real ask. Come to me with the specific number. Come to me with the specific name. Come to me with the specific door. I am not intimidated by the size of your want. I am the one who planted it in you before you were old enough to name it. A desire that will not die is often a promise that has not yet matured. Say it out loud, even if only I hear it. I have been waiting for you to stop being polite in your prayers and start being honest. And before I move into the prayer, there is one more thing that must be settled. I want you to release the timeline you have been holding on to in your fist. You have been trying to negotiate with me about when. When will it happen? When will they come? When will the money come in? When will the healing arrive? When will the ministry begin? When will the marriage come? When? My child, drop the when. Not because it is not real to you, because holding on to it is what has been squeezing the joy out of your obedience. When you release the timeline, I am free to arrive early. When you white-knuckle the timeline, I have to wait until you loosen your grip. I am not on your calendar, I am on my throne. And from where I sit, the moment I have chosen for you is more precise than any date you would have picked for yourself. Trust the timing. It is not late, it is exact. If this word has met you in the exact hour you needed it, and you know in your spirit that this is not accidental, subscribe now. Not later. Subscribe and turn on the bell, because the next word I am going to release through this channel is going to build directly on what I said to you tonight, and I do not want you to miss the piece that follows this one. If this channel keeps meeting you where you are, that is not random. That is a rhythm I am establishing with you. Stay in it. Now, my child, come close. Lower your shoulders, uncross your arms, loosen your jaw. If your hands are free, put one hand over your heart. I am going to pray this over you, and even as I pray, something is being loosed. Father, I lift this soul before you tonight. I lift them by name, though only you know the name I am calling them by in this moment. I thank you that they did not miss this word. I thank you that every distraction that tried to pull them away from this hour failed. I thank you that they are still here, still listening, still breathing, still hoping. Father, I ask you to seal every revelation you released in this word. Let it not fall to the ground. Let it root itself in the deepest part of them, in the place no earlier voice was ever allowed to reach. I break every agreement they made in a low moment that has been silently governing their life. I break the vow of settling. I break the contract of disqualification. I break the whisper of not enough. I break the assignment against their identity. I break the pressure trying to abort their gift. I break the inherited pattern that tried to write their ending before they even began. I break the unauthorized words that were spoken over them by mouths that had no right to speak. Let it all fall off in this hour, in the name of Jesus. Father, restore what has been taken, return what was stolen, redeem the years that felt wasted, reposition the doors that were previously guarded by resistance, send the right people, send the right rooms, send the right resources, send the right words at the right moments. Let them walk through the next 7 days, aware of your fingerprints. Let them see the confirmations. Let them hear the whispers. Let them feel the shifts. And even as I seal this prayer, one more thing is being loosed over them, Father. Let a new sensitivity to your voice open in them tonight, so that they never again mistake your silence for your absence, and they never again mistake your delay for your denial. Cover them, Lord. Cover their mind from replaying old lies. Cover their body from carrying pressure that was never theirs. Cover their home from atmospheres that oppose your peace. Cover their relationships from voices that undermine what you are building. Cover their gift from eyes that are not assigned to see it yet. And cover their heart, Father, so that hope, real hope, the hope that does not embarrass, the hope that does not disappoint, has room to grow again where disappointment tried to salt the ground. And as I keep sealing this, Father, release upon them a fresh discernment, one that can tell the difference between a door you are opening and a door the enemy is baiting, so that they never again waste a season chasing an entrance you did not author. I commission you now, chosen one. I commission you into the next chapter, the chapter you could not write yourself, the chapter that was always going to require my hand more than yours. I release you from the waiting room. I release you from the invisible years. I release you from the version of yourself that was too small to hold what is coming, and I place my hand on the crown that was made for you, long before you were born, the crown you have been afraid to acknowledge, the crown that fits no one else. Wear it, not with pride, with responsibility, because the ones who come after you are watching to see what a chosen one looks like when they finally stop hiding. Rise, my child, rise. Not tomorrow, now, from wherever you are sitting, from whatever bed you are lying in, from whatever chair has been holding you too long. Rise on the inside first, and the outside will follow. It is your time. It is your hour. It is your season. And I, the one who has been calling you all along, am walking into the next chapter with you, step by step, breath by breath, until the promise stands in front of you in the flesh, and you finally know, without needing anyone else to confirm it, that I was telling you the truth from the beginning. Amen.